Hi everybody, Dennis from Indian Motorcycle, Springfield. I've already showed you this 1947 Chief in an earlier video, but today I want to talk to the owner that I got it from. He's got a great family history on this motorcycle, plus what his family did in the past. This is Doug Finn. Doug used to own this bike. Doug, what can you tell me about this bike? How did you get this motorcycle originally?
I bought this bike back in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
And so many parts and pieces.
Yeah.
I spent quite a few years attempting to assemble and restore it, and finally finished it in, I think, around 96, 97. I finished restoring it.
Right.
And been riding it ever since until I traded it with you.
Yeah. Now it's got a really unique engine in it. It's got X100 on the engine code. Stu Watson, I understand, put it together. Was the engine with the bike when you found the motorcycle?
Yes. The
Okay.
engine was with it. So many pieces.
It was a part.
It was all apart.
What do you know? What Stu said? Anything about the engine or anything like that? Or
He asked me if I stole it.
oh yeah.
He said that engine was not supposed to left the factory at all. They were just prototype, something they were experimenting with. And he says somebody at that time must have light fingered it out of the factory or something.
Right.
He didn't know,
Right.
but he was curious about it. And it is a unique engine.
Yes.
And there's nothing else I don't think out there like it.
Right. Right. And I've heard the term snowbank engine used before, where they toss it out the window into a snowbank and go back at night and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a cool story. I mean, what you say about this bike being totally unusual, I have probably about 30 of these vintage Indian Chiefs, and this bike here runs like no other. It's hard to start, as we all know. I weigh about 250 pounds, and I put every bit I have on this Kickstarter to move that bike over. And when it starts, it runs strong. And what I find really unique about this bike, when I get to a steep hill, the engine doesn't even change pitch. It just boom, 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 boom. It's got buku torque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been very powerful. Great to ride, really. Like you said, starting it, it was getting tougher and tougher for me to start it.
Yeah. Twice this bike, I turned the key on at a gas station, rotated it advance, and the bike started on its own.
Yeah.
I've heard it happening with other Indians. It's never happened to me, and one of mine, this bike has done it. Now, your parents, they were involved with Indian motorcycles way back.
Yeah, Dad raced them for years, back in the 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
right into the late 40s he raced.
Yeah.
Most of the time Indian or bikes him and his brother built.
Yeah.
And then in late 40 he bought a Triumph, one of the first ones ever imported.
Yeah.
And he raced that. I know he raced it at Laconia, and I'm not sure where else he raced it.
Yeah. And I've seen pictures of you and your brother in Indians with sidecars, your mother on them.
Yeah, Mom she rode Indian or drove motorcycle long before she ever knew how to ride a car. Yeah, we were born and brought up on motorcycles.
Yeah. And the club they were involved with, what was the name of the club?
The Pioneer Valley Motorcycle Club was one of them, and I believe they were in Fritzy's Rovers at the time, too.
Yeah, Pioneer Valley, I've done some research in that. That eventually merged into Fritzy's Rovers, so you're exactly right on that. So they would have become a member of that. So for you, I've seen pictures of your brother with a Scout, you with the bikes way back.
Yeah.
There's a long family history. You're riding a brand new Indian now, and this bike here has got a great history to it, and I'm really proud to own it. I think I cannot wait to someday when I get an opportunity to pull this engine apart and see what's actually in this thing. And Stu Watson was an engineer for the factory.
Yes, he was.
And he put this bike together, or the engine together for that matter. So, but thanks for joining us here today. I really appreciate it. And Dennis from Indian Motorcycle Springfield with Doug Finn. Thank you for joining us. Indian Motorcycle Springfield, the home of the Indian Motorcycle. Thank you very much.